Hello everyone, today I will be showing you my album collection. I was going back and forth trying to figure out how to make this video interesting because I didn't just want to show you my shelves because my shelves are really not that interesting to look at. So I figured I would show you my collection and I would pull like an album out. So let's get started because it might take a long time. So I'm literally reaching out to my shelf right now. And the first album that I have here is Awaken the World. You know what? Maybe the goal for this video should be me learning the names of these albums. So this album is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. What did I pull here? I pulled Lucas, the member poster. So I really love the concept of like this prisoner sort of, you know, theme. The escape in all these characters. I mean, come on. It was so good in the album, like absolutely amazing. Next one, Nct Dream Reload. I don't know what version this is again. For these, I don't know, I bought several of these and I pulled different members. Is this a member poster? See, I don't even remember. Yes, I have Jaemin. Cool. And look, I have two posters. I think it's from like the other version. Yeah, and this is Jaemin as well. Well, there you go. So this is my favorite concept out of the two that came out. I really do love this carnival theme. Was this taken at Latte World, whatever it's called? Can someone confirm that to me? It probably looks the same. I really do love like the carnival theme, the jackets, the Saint Laurent jackets. And I love like the retro vibe here. Very, very good. Great album. I love this concept. I have Gravity. This is the season 1 hideout, and I love the Gravity boxes. This is the only album that I own from that first season. I love the graininess. I love the filter. I love these leather jackets. They're serving, honestly, and they all look older than they actually are, which is crazy, but I really do love this concept. I have the love version of Love Shot. I was very fortunate to find this album. I did not buy it new. I bought it pre-owned or whatever. But what a legendary concept. I mean, come on. I really do love it. They look all so great. I mean, look at Sehun. Oh my gosh. They look amazing. Pequen, he's killing it in that purple lavender suit. We're here for it. I have the 1 billion views. I know this is the Paradise version, aka Sehun's version. I really do love the glossy paper quality of this album. I mean, they went all out. Like this glossy paper, it makes the colors of the photos very vibrant. And because I guess it's able to attract more light. And I love this whole gamer concept. It's very kind of random, but it's still stylized, which is very cool. Right next to that is ATEEZ Fever Part 2. I'm not sure what version this is. But if it's on my shelf, yes, it is this concept. So I really love these suits. I think like the colors, okay, that concept is amazing, but this concept is just ATEEZ can pull off any concept, any color. Concept kings, look at them, they're just amazing. And this concept, like, this blew me out of this world. This is like soft, yeah, I don't even know what you would call these. And like, I did some research on this thing. This thing is actually like a puppet from Louis Vuitton. So it's kind of cool that it was associated with, like, Louis Vuitton didn't make this for them, obviously. But it's kind of cool that the, what do you call it? Like the costume designers they, you know, did their research and like, whoa, that's cool because we can associate it to the music video. But absolutely stunning pictures, absolutely stunning. Next, I have some Japanese albums. Let's just do this in one go. So these three are the 18th Japanese albums, which I'm kind of disappointed because they're all just like remixes, pretty much all remixes of songs that they just translated in Japanese, and they're just remixes. But it's not like, you know, the boys who made a Japanese album and all these songs are in Japanese and are exclusive in Japanese, and they're not just like translations of their Korean songs. So I do have Jiyeon's version, and these are all the Japanese albums that I own. Next is Wavy's Takeoff album. The amount of people who want this album is crazy. I didn't know this album was rare. When I first started collecting albums, I literally saw it everywhere on Mercari, and they weren't going for as expensive as they are now. If you're wondering, this album is exclusive to China. Look at Win-Win. He looks amazing. Yeah, this album is exclusive to China. I don't believe SM ever sold it in Korea, so that's why it's like considered rare. If I'm wrong, you can feel free to correct me on that, but as far as I know, that is why it is rare and hard to find, and it wasn't in SM's recent reprint schedule, which is kind of sucks. This is ATEEZ's that album. I like to refer to ATEEZ's by like their comeback era. So this is the Answer era in this really cool blue, and this is like the kind of pearls black witch concepts. We love it. We stan. I think ATEEZ can pull off any clothes, you know, or baking. It's just amazing. I think they look great in anything. This is ATEEZ's Wave version. Thank goodness, it's just easier to, it's actually not called the Wave version. I don't know what it's called, but this is the name of the album. Yeah, Wave Illusion version. That was the name of the versions. I absolutely love this album. Absolutely love it. I think every ATEEZ stan does. They really proved themselves that they could do any concepts. A beachy summer vibe concepts, you know, why are you wearing a sweater vest at the beach? Yeah, so this song killed it in Korea, that comeback. So yay for ATEEZ. We hope to get another summer anthem from them soon. This is ATEEZ's Hala Hala era. This is not me being like pretentious and annoying, but this is a first press album. I actually have a story time with this second mini and the first, their debut album. When I first started collecting ATEEZ, not a lot of people were selling this album. The people that were selling the album were selling them actually for a high price because they were sold out. They were out of print during that time. So I probably spent more than I wanted to on this album because I didn't get the PCs from this album. I just got the postcards. And that was because it was out of print. So I paid a little bit more than I probably should have because I wanted to complete the collection so bad. I paid more than I should have for this album. Next is ATEEZ Fever Part 1. I believe this is the Inception version. Yes. Oh my gosh. Talk about how they just killed these outfits. Amazing. Like, we love it. We stan. Mingi, we miss you. We hope you're doing well. Absolutely love these concepts. Yes. Look at Yuno. Look at Yuno. Look at Yuno. Oh my gosh. This is ATEEZ's Wonderland era first full-length album. This album has been through it in my bookshelf because it is so heavy and it falls from my shelves so often. Look at all those scratches. So this is one of the first albums that I bought from 80s. Absolutely amazing album. I always play this album. It's just legendary. It's so... I love the pirate king concepts, really, because it's just so suiting for them, honestly. Okay, so those were all the albums in one of my mini floating shelves. So now I'm moving on to my display shelf, which I have this album on display, the Boys Reveal Wolf version or Moon version. This is the Moon version, I believe. This is where I absolutely fell in love with the Boys, their first full-length album. This concept, who do we have here? This is Jacob's message card, and I do love how this album has that little slip here, and I think that message is so cute. But yeah, I really do love this concept. I love this comeback. The album is so good. I absolutely love it. This is EXO's Obsession version. This is my first ever EXO album, and if you have not listened to this album, you're missing out on like literally one of the best K-pop albums that I have ever like heard, honestly. I really love this version because it came with the two concepts. So we get like an insight of the XXO concept, which, I mean, come on, it's legendary. I mean, look at it. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. And then we also have here this concept, this military concept, which they do pull off so well. They look so good. Absolutely. Oh, look at that shot. It's amazing. They all look so good. And this album is absolutely like A tier, S tier, S tier, honestly, S tier. Next up, I have X1's first and only mini album. I have both the Pisang version and the Quantum Leap version. I will never get rid of this album. X1 would have been such a legendary group. I mean, look at like the members and what groups they're in, and it's yeah. Oh my god, just look at it. Oh my god, they would have killed it. They would have been such a massive group, like bigger than 101, honestly. And I loved 101, but yes, X1, they would have killed the K-pop game, because look at all these talented members that are now in all the different groups that we know and love. It's so sad that we don't have them anymore. Next, I have Pequen's Delight. This is his second mini album, and this is honestly where I recognized what an amazing artist, vocalist Pequen is. He is so talented. He, honestly, he's really so good. He's the best, honestly. You can't deny him that. Like, honestly, he's so good, and I really did love this version. I love how this album was sort of made kind of like a magazine. So yeah, I really love the typography, and I love this sleeve here, and I'm usually not a fan of sleeves. I did buy this pre-owned, so I didn't get any photo cards with it, but I just had to have this album in my collection. It's just amazing album. My favorite album of 2020, to be honest. Next is NCT 127's the T version. I remember when this version came out, literally, because like we were all freaking out. We were like, another version? And then there was like, oh, we're gonna get Punch. Another comeback is coming soon, like the repackaged album. and NCT stans were going crazy. I did get this album while I was collecting Johnny's photo cards. Collecting this album wasn't really on my radar. I'm kind of glad that I have it now, even though it's massive. It's really hard to store, but I love how it incorporates the different concepts from the little teasers that we got when they were releasing this album. And absolutely one of NCT 127's best albums. I just think every song is a hit. Like, every song is absolutely amazing. So this is like my first NCT 127 album that I do listen to all the way, because all the songs are so good. Next is the boys' legendary Bloom Bloom album. The boys absolutely hate this concept, and it's so ironic because Bloom Bloom is like the most popular comeback song within the boys community. And it's just, it slaps. It's really such a great pop song, and I absolutely love Bloom Bloom. And Butterfly, the vocals, amazing. Honestly, it makes me cry. Honestly, one of like the best of their, what do you call it, ballad songs. It's so good. I love Butterfly, and of course I love Bloom Bloom, but I think it's absolutely funny that the boys don't like to revisit this concept because of the choreography. They make fun of it all the time. This is the boys' Giddy Up. I believe this is their second mini, I think. Yes. So this is my favorite version from the two versions that are available with this album. When I first unboxed this album, I just thought it was funny. They're on horses, and I know I've seen some unboxings where people make fun of them being on those horses, but I think it's funny how like they just cut off the horse. To me, that is just funny. This is the boys' first mini album. I believe it's called The Start. I don't remember what it's called, the first or the boy version. The first, there we go. And legendary Walk in Time, Tears, absolute tears. And boy is like, now to me it's just legendary because of Kingdom. Not Kingdom, see, I'm thinking about Road to Kingdom, where I think it was Hansok who tried to win over Hyunjae's vote during Road to Kingdom, and he did it by singing Boy and imitating the choreography, which I thought was pretty funny and quite cute. So yeah, the boys have come a long way by doing all these cutesy soft concepts into sort of now more mature concepps. Yes, so this is my favorite version out of, I think, the two that are available for this album. I don't know if there's a limited version. I don't know, one of the albums is limited, but I don't have that version. But that's okay because I do love this version. I think it's really cute. Next, I have the boys, the only off-air version. This is a limited rare version, and it's only rare because it's out of print. But I did buy this when I was first collecting the boys, and this was available, believe it or not, at Choice Music, because that's where I got it. I literally got it for $20, but I do love this album. They're my favorite out of the 3 versions that came out with this album, I believe, because Kevin did, if not all, the photography in this album. So I think it's really special that we have a little piece of Kevin, and really cool, cute album. Absolutely love it. One of the best. Thank you, Kevin, for a legendary addition to the boys collection. All right, here is the first, this is ATEEZ's debut album. This is, again, not me being annoying, but this is a first press album. And regrettably, like before, I spent way more than I should have on this album. Again, when I was collecting ATs, this album was out of print. It was nowhere to be found. And if I do still have screenshots of it, believe it or not, some people were selling this album for $300. I don't know if I still have those screenshots back when I was complaining about it. But yeah, this album was out of print. And I did see a lot of versions for sealed, a lot of copies being sold sealed for $300. That was a thing back in the day. And I did not spend $300 on this. I did buy it used. But again, the amount of money I spent on it for a used album with no inclusions. I mean, I got the postcards, but I didn't get the photo cards. It's kind of ridiculous how much money I spent on this. And then I was absolutely so pissed off that, like, they did a reprint. So they reprinted these albums, and I had the opportunity to buy it for $18 as opposed to the amount of money that I spent on it. But I guess the only flex that I could possibly have, and again, that's like me not trying to be annoying, is that this is a first press album. But it is damaged already, so it's not like it even matters, to be honest. Next is the Boys Dreamlike album. This is the 4th mini album, I believe. And this is my favorite version out of the 3 versions that came out. This is the day version. I really do love that they came to New York to do this photo shoot. This seems like such a long time ago. Like, can you believe, like, the boys were actually here in America? That's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely wild. But I do love this photo book. I think all the pictures are done really great, and I love this big photo book magazine style. This is the album that should be easily recognizable by now. The Boys Chase Stealer era. I'm not even sure of what the name of the album is anymore. Is it called The Stealer? Is it called The Chase? What is it? I'm pretty sure they didn't even know. So there's the photo cover thing. I didn't end up collecting these because there was really no point, to be honest. So many of the Boys stands have like a whole storage unit filled with these photo books. I'm sure that you're tired of seeing these images just because of the so many pre-order benefits that came during this era. But this is my favorite concept out of the 3 versions that were available to us. I think it's kind of leading on to the Boys' mature side and flirty side, so I really do like that for them. Okay, so now I'm going to show you albums that are on my actual shelving units. So these albums are not on my floating display shelves. So I just choose not to display them because that's really where I store a majority of my albums. So first I have Woods' Whoops era albums. I do have both versions of it. I think my favorite version is I really want to lean towards this black version, but I feel like he just photographs so well. Like, he killed it with this blonde hair. Absolutely amazing. What an amazing vocalist, to be honest, and I will continue to support him in whatever he does. But he does photograph really well. He can pull off any concept, to be honest. And he chose not to do the group route, which to each their own. But yes, he's definitely very, very talented, and he has loads of fans who follow him. So I wish him the best in all of his endeavors, of course. Next is AT's the Illusion version. So many people love this version. This album was out of print for a while until they decided to reprint them. But this is just further proof of the ability for ATs to do any concept. They really, really, really can. Even though I absolutely love the pirate concept. They can pull off anything, to be honest, so yay for them. This is the red version of the Answer era, their 4th mini album. This concept, killer, absolutely killer. Gave me very Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, very winter, very just amazing color scheme, amazing textures, just so good. Like I said, they can pull off any concept. The styling is absolutely amazing, so shout out to ATEEZ's stylist. Next I have Pentagon's, I believe this is their 2nd mini, in their iconic, like, square albums and boxes and stuff. Pentagon is another group that really can pull off any concept, and they prove it again and again and again. Amazing group. I actually don't think they get enough credit for really how talented that they are. And I think this is Pentagon's 3rd mini. If not, I will correct myself. Again, with their legendary square boxes and their famous CD plates. We have Usopp and Gino here. Look at them. Amazing, right? Oh wow, there's a photo card here. Guys, I didn't know this photo card was in here. Oh my gosh. I think I did buy these pre-owned. I didn't know. Who is that? Is that Kino? I think it's Kino. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is the 3rd mini. So yeah, here is a Pentagon again, showing you the soft side of them, and they're killing it. Absolutely vocal kings. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that photo card was in there. Next I have, does anyone mind if Kino is just here in the corner? I don't know. Next I have XO's Obsession, XXO Obsession version. I don't know what the version is called, but this version has all of what I like to call the demons. I purchased this album pre-owned, and I was having such a hard time with collecting Sehun's, this one specific photo card, and this person was selling this album with Pequen's PC, and so I said, oh, that would be a great trade for Sehun, and that's why I purchased this album. So all of these come with the little member booklets. I don't know why it can just be one massive booklet. I also didn't know this was in here, but we'll keep it in here for now. This is H&D's 2nd mini Umbrella. This is a single album, and it comes in this huge book style photo book. Hangul and Dohyun, honestly talented. Hangul's vocals are so unique. He's been debuting for so long, since X1. His current group is Bae 173. Also, Dohyun is in that group, so I wish them the best. Hangul is so talented, Dohyun is so talented, and this single Umbrella, amazing. The next one is their 1st mini, Soulmate. The thing about these albums, I think it's because of the company that distributes their albums, the Pocket Doll Studio. These albums are very expensive. I don't know why, they just always have been. I believe this one is around, I think, $30 new, I think. And even if you try to buy these pre-owned, they're a little expensive, just because people are trying to get back their money. And this was an issue also when this album first came out, that the CD would like come off, like it's not glued properly onto the thing, and so it just falls off. But yeah, Soulmate was their debut as a duo, and this was my favorite concept from the 2 versions that came out. Next is Pentagon's 1st mini album. Gorilla is still my absolutely jam. This album came out, I think it came out a while ago. Yeah, a while ago, 2016. So yeah, Pequen has been in the game for a very, very, very long time. Just their concepts have evolved tremendously throughout the years, but as you can see, they're still able to pull off any concept, like I say, over and over and over again. This is SF9's first full-length album, the first collection. This album is very, very sturdy. It's literally, it's rock solid. It's so bulky. This is my favorite concept from the 2 versions that came out with these albums. It's just very like, just them in these suits, and the quality of the paper is actually really nice. It's not glossy. It's not like 100% glossy, but it's not like matte. And I think the paper quality really helps the black and white aesthetic that they went for. They just look amazing with these suits, and honestly it looks like a suit catalog. They look very, very, very good. I believe Good Guy was their first ever win. So SF9 is just another one of those groups that have been in the game for so long, and I feel like people really don't give them the recognition that they probably should, just because they are a talented and very charismatic group. Next is The Boys Reveal. These are the other 2 versions. This is the Wolf version, and this is the boy version. When I first got this set of this album, the boy version absolutely knocked me away. I would display this version on like my floating shelves, but this white, it seems like it's gonna get dirty so fast. Like, it's like the little satin silk material that it's made out of. But the boy version, it absolutely killer. Like, all these photos were taken by the members. I absolutely love it. It just gives us a little insight on their trip to Europe. And that photo book that came out with them in Europe, the All Axis, something like that. That is a photo book that I don't have, and I would really, really, really want. And this is the Wolf version. So let's see. Oh, I have one here. It's, oh, I don't know whose little member card that is. I guess we'll never know. So yeah, this is the Wolf version. It's just kind of like the Moon version, but with a red tint. They all look good, amazing, and of course, like I said before, I really do love this album. This is NCT Dream's We Boom. I don't know if this is the We or the Boom version, but I like to call it as the Suit version, because I believe the other version is there's a lot of denim, so I called it the denim version. This is when I really first started getting into NCT Dream, and honestly a very good album from them as well. Next is Wavy's Take Over the Moon. I don't know if this got a reprint. Did this get a recent reprint from SM? I don't know. Legendary style. I know everyone who has this album talks about just this typography and just the gold and like the gold pages. It really sticks out on your shelves if you have it to display. So this concept is, I don't know, I would like to call it the alien concept, because it seems like they're all aliens and they're heading to a different planet, because Takeoff is obviously like them being pilots and traveling to space. So I love that. I don't know if it has been confirmed, but it feels very much like this is Ten's art. So if it is Ten's art, that just makes it more valuable as an album to have. I just think having his art is just so cool, to be able to have it in your collection. This is Wood's first mini album, Equal. This is the I don't know, the white version. And I do have kind of like a story as to why it is beat up the way it is. So this was basically shoved into my P.O. box. I don't have a very big P.O. box, but I guess the mail person thought that it was able to fit in my P.O. box. And I was literally, when I tell you that I was in the post office lobby trying to pull this album out for like 30 minutes. It was no joke. The first day, because it took me 2 days to do that. So the first day I was like 30 minutes trying to pull this album out of my P.O. box, and I really had somewhere to go after, so I just said fuck it and I left it there. But the second day I came to try to take out the album from my P.O. box, I literally brought some hand sanitizer to kind of wiggle it out of my P.O. box, and that's how I eventually got this out. This is how I got it out of my P.O. box, or else I was going to need to ask one of the male people to help me push it out the other way. And yeah, it was tragic. So this is quite a story. This, oh my gosh, so the comeback song, or the debut song, well, it's technically a comeback song because Woods have done several other singles prior to this album, but Para Que, like, amazing music video. I absolutely love that music video, and just a really great song. Once again, Woods proving to everybody what an amazing vocalist he is. Next, I have NCT 2018 Empathy album. Again, the only flex, if I'm ever allowed to have one, is that this is a first pressed album. I bought this when I was first collecting album, I bought this on eBay for, I believe, $15, and the person was selling it with Chenla's PC. So that is how I was able to get this album. I didn't pay a ridiculous amount of money for this album, and I do prefer this version over this is the reality version, I believe. I do prefer this version over the dream version because I like the pictures a little bit better. These next couple of albums are albums that I store at like the bottom shelf of like a nightstand just because the packaging. So this is Astro's Gateway, their 7th mini. This year, actually last year, I had all of Astro's albums, like literally every single one of them, all of the rare ones, spring, summer, and I didn't have that limited album of, I think, like their 5th mini or something, but Astro was just one of the groups where I just decided to downsize, but I loved this concept so much. So I decided to keep it, obviously, because the nautical theme, I mean, I love it. So yeah, so Gateway, I don't plan to collect Astro but anymore, like as far as buying their albums. So but I did decide to keep this one. Next is the infamous Limitless album from NCT. It's literally this giant envelope. I didn't even know that there were different versions to this album. But as you can tell, like, all of this stuff is in here. And I'm gonna be completely freaking honest with y'all. I hardly ever interact with this album. Like, honestly, like, for me, the concept is not one of my favorites, and there's really no photo book. It's just like these giant postcards. I don't know if anyone has done an unboxing, but I really don't want to put it away. So it isn't a photo book. It's just like these giant postcards. And then here I have Taeyang and Johnny's little postcard thingy. And but yeah, so if I were ever to like completely just keep all of the albums that I just really like and revisit, this would probably be one that I would let go, to be honest. Just because I don't interact with it as much. And this is Teo. He kind of looks like Johan from We I. So yeah, let me put all this crap back inside that envelope. Next is Nct 127 Regular Irregular. That has this famous PVC envelope, which I do love, like the PVC envelope. I don't know, I feel like if you would just get rid of the photo book, you could probably use this envelope thing to like store files or something. I don't know, it's cute. I think this is the only reason why I've continued to keep this album, because this photo book is not one of my favorites as well. It's very contemporary. Yeah, that's like the best word to use for it. Very contemporary, and not really one of my favorites. And I'm not sure if this is the regular or irregular version. So again, if I were to downsize albums, if I needed to, this would be one that would go. But for now, it is still lingering in my shelves. The last album that I have on my shelves is this Nct 127 Regulate album. This is Doyoung's version. Here, when I bought this album, it was off of Amazon. That's when I first started collecting. I used to buy albums off of Amazon, and please don't buy albums off of Amazon because they are severely overpriced, like literally. So, it was a random version, so I couldn't choose Johnny's even if I wanted to. My giant postcard. But yeah, it's like a giant vinyl, which, like, the photography and the styling, I love. I mean, come on, look at Haechan. The styling and sort of the concept of it is, I'm not mad at it, but I don't know, I don't understand why they couldn't translate this to the regular, irregular, probably just to sell more albums, to be honest. Next, I want to show you some of the photo books that I have. So let's start from biggest to smallest. So the biggest photo book that I have is this Dream a Dream Nct Dream photo book. It is massive. It's huge. It really is. It's just so big. And it's big and it's extraordinarily heavy. But this was Dream's first ever photo book, so I had to dive in, and I do love like this little soft concept that they did with it. So yeah, so the next photo book, let's set that aside maybe for size comparison purposes, is 127's Annyeong Seoul Hello Seoul photo book. It is also massive, but actually this Dream photo book is bigger than the Hello Seoul photo book, as you can tell. So if you have this one and you don't have Dreams, just know that Dreams is massive. So to store it, I have to store it lying down like this, or else it's not gonna fit. So yeah, this photo book came out, what year was it? 2018, 2017? I'm not sure, but I do love this concept of them visiting different places in Seoul. Photography is really nice, and yeah, it's really a really good solid photo book. Let's put it out there. Next, I have the Nct 127 Decon. People say D-Icon, I say Decon. I just put it all the words together. And City of Angel, this is the Dispatch magazine from 2019, and I do have Johnny's version. So this is basically just when they came to LA and they did a photo shoot, which is crazy because that seems like such a long time ago that idols actually came to the States, because they did, you know, come regularly, and more K-pop concerts were prevalent in the US, and now it just seems like a foreign concept, honestly. And this is my only The Boys photo book that I have. This is the outside inside. I always want to call it on and off, but it's outside inside. I think they should have just called it on and off. This is a Japanese photo book that they did back in, I don't have the year. Here's the black and white cover. But yeah, one photo book that I would really like from The Boys is the all access or the AAA photo book. But it's crazy expensive, so I don't know if I'll ever buy it. I actually bought this photo book for like $10, which is so good. But yeah, that all access photo book is going up for like $200, so probably will never purchase that one. Alright guys, so that is my photo book collection, my album collections. Thank you guys for watching. I mean, let's see how much my collection grows this year, and let's see if we can make financial responsible choices. The thing is that like new groups come out every single year, and just it's so natural for you just to stan new groups and want to buy and purchase albums. So it is a hobby that is not only expensive, but it is space consuming because it takes a lot of space. So at some point you will have to downsize, unless you plan to have a whole ass K-pop store in your house, unless you got to rent out a whole storage unit. Then that's probably not healthy. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.